All right, hello and welcome to Hi Lasley. Today's docket stretches all the way from California back to Illinois. First up, the Illinois Supreme Court has legalized hotboxing. Not really, but there have been some real changes to the interpretation of the law there. California governor has enforced his hemp ban, completely removing any kind of THC-laden hemp products from the market, including ones that are mostly CBD focused. It's a very interesting take. We've got some brand new products here from our friends at Dabstract. Finally bringing their full-scale concentrates to the market. They've had carts for a while now. And we've got a little bit of an event recap. Last weekend was Keefe Cannafest. And then this weekend, we have the combination of the SIU Cannabis and Hemp Symposium on Friday, and Saturday, the Hemp Hop and Shrooms Festival in downtown Carbondale. So a pair of cases on transporting cannabis had been paired up in the Illinois Supreme Court for quite a while, and we finally got a ruling on one of them last week. So essentially the way that the Illinois Supreme Court has ruled on at least half of this case means that burnt cannabis inside your car is no longer probable cause for an officer to search your vehicle. Kind of a win for people that consume cannabis and hemp. But there was another part of this case that concerned the odor-proof language in our law, and that was not decided on, which theoretically means that you could still have your car searched for the smell of raw, unsmoked cannabis. You can check out the article covering the topic on IllinoisNewsJoint.com. And I also wanted to take a second to shout out Cole Preston at the Cole Memo. He's done some really focused work on this, and he is just one of those stories that he's got his teeth into and does not let go. He's got a lot more coming, and I believe he's got a podcast coming up on Friday talking more about it. Definitely somebody to check out if you're interested. All right, and so story number 2 this week, Gavin Newsom's hemp ban, essentially, in California has gone into effect. So there's a few parts to this. All hemp sold in the state of California can no longer have a detectable amount of THC, which is kind of a wild thing because that means it affects some CBD blends that will have really, really, really low amounts that would be federally illegal, but this will affect those too. It also states that you can only have 5 servings per package and that all hemp products must be sold to somebody 21 or older, but since you've removed the THC, these are kind of just extra strangulation on the thing, don't you think? What this really signifies to me is that, even if the Farm Bill goes the way hemp people want, there's going to be a state-by-state battle focused in on taking hemp down and separating it from cannabis regulations. It seems to me that legislators wanted cannabis locked behind a lot of rules. The Farm Bill has been treated as a loophole to get hemp into people's hands, which personally I agree with, but it seems like they're coming through now to tie up these loose ends. It's crazy to talk about, loose ends and stuff like it's people's businesses and livelihoods. But the sad fact is that's how our legislators see it. The Farm Bill is a $1.5 trillion bill that has things as complicated and as important as food stamps inside. And so the idea that hemp really has this big starring role is kind of silly to me. I don't think they really care that much. All right. So we've got some brand new products, and I just want to talk for a second about the fact that we are in the center of essentially the largest wave of market expansion since legalization in Illinois. So there are a giant list of craft licensees finally coming online, many with multiple brands they're supporting. And besides that, there are also other brands starting to tap into the already existing license network, and then the licensees and MSOs themselves are also adding brands to compete with the crafts. And so we're just being drowned in new products and new labels. And while it's not the perfect market that I was hoping for, things are improving. Prices are coming down everywhere. Your options are going up. There are more dispensaries open up. And so we spend a lot of time in the Illinois cannabis industry bitching and moaning. It's nice to celebrate a little progress, you know what I mean? This is one of those labels I just reviewed. This is their DNA cake I reviewed on Illinois News Joint. And so DNA Genetics, brand new label from Redemption Botanicals out of Tilton. DNA Genetics actually has their own seed brand that they run, and so they've got some really cool genetics to tap into. I enjoyed the DNA cake. It's a pretty clear picture of a old school Kush Cakey strain. Nice funk on the back end, good vanilla buttercream, heavy indica effects. You can check that one out at illinoisnewsjoint.com. And then we've also got Dabstract. So I checked out Dabstract all the way back in May when they dropped their first version of their carts. But with a name like Dabstract, you definitely want to check out the dabs. And so I've finally gotten into the grape sugar cookie and escape terp sugars I picked up yesterday. You might recognize those names as BG strains, Bedford Grow. They are definitely running Bedford Grow biomass, I believe operating with their license. So some interesting synergies there, but these are some great dabs. I mean, really solid. They say terp sugar, but for me, this was like a diamond sauce kind of thing. Very clear flavor. A lot of that BG biomass heavy in terpinolene. You could taste it in these. So exciting to see new product. And then events. Last week we had Keefe Canafest in Peoria, yet again at High Harbor. I believe this is, gosh, the third or fourth year they've done it, maybe even the fifth, I don't know, but truly one of the largest events I've seen this year, probably 1,500 people on hand. The booths were stacked. I mean, every brand had people there and all kinds of tiny brands and little sub vendors. One of the things I love about Keefe Canafest is they do well to combine both sides, the legal industry and then this kind of, you know, the community part of the world where there's other people operating outside of that, grow shops and glass makers and all the secondary and tertiary businesses that support stoners and smoking and everything else. And that's really cool to be able to combine that, because that's how the community moves forward. That's how we really get it going. And speaking of that, we'll be returning this weekend, this coming Friday, to Carbondale. They're going to have the SIU Cannabis and Hemp Symposium, one of my favorite academic events of the season. People really do give some interesting talks. And then they've combined that this year with the Hemp Hop Shrooms Festival in downtown Carbondale. So they have people from the fermentation sciences, people from the Cannabis Science Center out there, and all kinds of vendors. Illinois News Joint will be set up out there, ready to party. So it's really great to see the community getting involved, even if it's something, you know, where it's not an open consumption event, it's more tied into the school, but hemp, hop, and shrooms. It's the, you know, hemp has top heading, which is good to see. It gets with my idea of like normalization is what we should work about now. You know, legalization, that's all going to continue to get ironed out and fought about, and there's still states to go, and I commend the people that work there. But for me, getting people to recognize that this is normal, this is part of everyday life, it should be more normal than alcohol for sure. That's really where I want to focus. And so events like the Hemp Hop Shrooms Festival, I mean, really perfect. And Keefe Canafest to an extent, because you get a lot of people from just like hanging out in Peoria that come by and check it out and really get blown away by how much fun it is. So it's a good thing to see. And I'll see you next time.